In this video, we'll look at something a little different and unique, a Heathkit home security product, the GD-39 Ultrasonic Intrusion Alarm. In fact, you're looking at it right now. Let's take a look at the unit, its history, and how it works. Marketed as the Informer, the GD-39 was a motion detector disguised as a book. Once enabled, movement in the area, typically a room, could turn on a lamp as well as a bell or similar alarm connected to outlets on the back. Suggested applications included an intrusion alarm as well as an automatic light for areas like attics, basements, garages, or to sound a buzzer when movement occurs, such as a child leaving its bed. The GD-39 was offered by Heathkit from 1972 to 1980, after which it was replaced by the GD-49, which was identical other than some minor electronic component changes. The GD-49 was sold until at least 1984, based on a search of my old Heathkit catalogs. The GD-39 sold in the US for between $54.95 and $59.95 over the life of the product. Optional accessories included the GD-39 indoor buzzer alarm and the GD-39 outdoor bell. Heathkit offered a number of other home security products, including the GD-1158 Ultrasonic Automobile Intrusion Alarm, and towards the end of the company's history, in the early 1990s, offered a number of commercial security products made by other companies. Sold only as a kit that was assembled by the user, the GD-39 was described as a suitable kit for beginners. Various catalogs described it as either a 2-evening kit or a 4-evening kit. The unit's housed in an enclosure that looks like a book, allowing it to be inconspicuous on a bookshelf or table. The power switch, 2 outlets, mode switch, and sensitivity control are accessible from the back of the case. In basic operation, the unit is turned on and you have about 30 seconds to leave the room before it's armed. Once active, the unit will detect motion such as a person. The unit can be disarmed by turning it off within about 10 seconds. Otherwise, any device connected to the lamp outlet will turn on. After another approximately 30 seconds, any device connected to the alarm outlet will turn on. If the mode switch is in the auto reset position, after about 30 seconds after the alarm being turned on, the unit will reset and once again check for motion. If the mode switch is in the hold position, the lamp and alarm outlets will remain on while the unit is powered up. A sensitivity control adjusts the sensitivity or distance at which the unit detects motion. The operating range varies but is typically up to 25 feet. The 2 power outlets can deliver up to 3 amps or 360 watts of maximum combined current, and the unit itself takes about 1.5 watts of power. The unit can be wired for 120 or 240 volts AC, and the power devices need to run on the same line voltage. It has North American style power outlets, so if used in areas such as Europe, for example, you would need a plug adapter for European plugs. The unit uses ultrasonic signals at about 41 kHz. Heathkit stated that this could cause interference with ultrasonic TV remote controls of the era, although modern televisions generally now use infrared. The unit's housed in an aluminum case which can be slipped out of the book housing and used without it if desired. Inside, most circuitry is on a single-sided printed circuit board. The circuit is relatively complex with 19 transistors and no integrated circuits. Notable components include the power transformer and 2 relays, one for each outlet. The ultrasonic transducers, 1 transmitter and 1 receiver, operate at approximately 41 kHz. Heathkit said they were matched and should be handled carefully. A variable inductor is taped over and not adjusted during assembly, and may have also been matched at the factory with the transducers, as the 2 transistors and inductor were considered one set. 2 transistors amplify the received signal. Following that is a low-pass filter and low-frequency amplifier and detector. It uses 3 Schmitt trigger circuits, all implemented using discrete transistors. The power supply generates 18 volts DC and regulated 11 volts DC. The only adjustment is the sensitivity control. To speed up initial testing of the unit, you can shorten the timer delay from approximately 30 seconds to less than a second. This is done by tightening up these screws, which connect some resistors. Once tested, you can then back off the screws for normal operation. If you wanted different delay times, the manual describes what parts to change and a timing formula to determine the values. 240 volt wiring was an option, and the user was supplied with a label to apply if it was wired for 240. Earlier I mentioned that the GD-39 was replaced in 1981 with the GD-49 model. As far as I can tell, the 2 units were identical, except that the GD-39 used half-watt resistors with 10% tolerance, except for some 5% in specific locations, while the GD-49 used quarter-watt 5% resistors throughout. There were no other circuitry or cosmetic changes. I bought this from a local seller on Kijiji, which is what eBay Classified is called in Canada, who was actually within walking distance from me. The seller said their father built it and it was working when it was last tested. I found a schematic and some full copies of the GD-49 manual on the internet, which, as I mentioned, is essentially identical to the GD-39. The assembly manual is the usual detailed Heathkit document and is 26 pages long. The unit appeared to not be working and received, but just needed the sensitivity control to be turned up. It was in good condition and appeared to have all original components. My unit has a fuse and fuse holder inside. This is not shown in the manual or schematic, and I suspect the previous owner added it to make the unit safer. This is an interesting unit which I recall seeing appear in Heathkit catalogs for years. As far as I know, the idea of disguising an intrusion alarm as a book is unique. I plan to use this to automatically turn on lights in an area of my home, probably the basement.